Okay, so with this video, this is me basically breaking down and explaining the reason why Zagura is the way he is. I wanted to give people a better understanding of his actions and why he reacts to the things that, and yeah, basically just why he reacts the way he does to certain things. I was playing a game. I was playing Unleashed last week, and the way Zachariah reacted to a certain event, like it shocked the hell out of Tamir to the point where he wanted to he basically kind of cut in and was like, "Hey DM, do you mind if I ask the player a question?" Because he wasn't sure if he heard what he heard was right, and he was like, like why did you do what you did basically when I had killed a particular NPC, and a lot of reactions aren't things that I would do normally as a regular PC. But Zagura is only 16 years old. That's for one. So, as a 16-year-old, a lot of the actions that you do, being a young 16, a lot of those actions, like you don't think things all the way out. Like you're kind of like you're acting in the moment. You're just reacting to certain emotions and certain feelings on how you feel. So you have the age thing, and then you have the fact that Zagura, in his essence, is a soldier. Like so, he's been trained to kill and be a killer. So you have that. Like he's a 16-year-old soldier, and that's all he knows is being a soldier, is to kill, and that's it. So it's hard for him to kind of like understand subtle nuances, like like all right, you might not want to kill this person right now because they might lead to something greater, or they're helping you. It's like his moral reaction is, all right, you're wasting my time, you're annoying me, get you, like like what's the best way to get you from stop doing that, and that's to basically destroy you. um and that's what happened. um Instance, early in my game as Zagara, I was on a mission and I ran through basically an apartment building full of people, and I basically trapped them all in a stairwell, and I just ran through, killed them all. It might have been like probably, I think it might have been, I know it's more than dozens, but it might have been roughly hundreds of people, whatever. Not hundreds, maybe 100. I'm assuming because it was a large apartment building. So I'm just going through, just killing them and absorbing them. After that mission, I ran into my mother, and I was given a command to kill her. I did. I killed her. Didn't think twice about it. I killed her. I guess I did kind of think twice about it, but I did as I was ordered to do. I killed her. Not shortly after that, like right after that, I found or after going into the, I don't want to say right after, like as soon as I killed her, like the order was whatever it was, but I killed her. I went back to my base because I killed her on the way from, basically on the way from killing the apartment building full of people. I was on my way back to like my base. I get there, and the next thing I know, they put a hit out on me to eliminate all of the devouring stuff line, which I am one of. And even though I knew that that was what was going on, I thought me being a soldier, me being a good soldier, I was exempt from that. I was wrong. After that last mission, now they put me on the hit list, and they tried to kill me. Um, so certain things things like that, like after giving the orders to kill my mom, the people who gave me the orders turned right around and tried to kill me. Like, those things affect a 16-year-old. Hell, they would affect anybody, but they definitely affect a 16-year-old. So, like, certain things, like, I don't trust anyone. Like, so it's hard for me. Like, it's hard for me to think in terms of nuances, like giving people the shadow of a doubt, giving people, like, the benefit of the doubt. Like, it's hard for Zagura to do that. So, like, that's just basically the purity of who he is. Like, he's just a no nonsense because of those situations. Like, even when there was a woman in my head that was named Nerazim, and she had the ability to manipulate space and time. Um, when it came down to it, like, I had asked her before I had ran into the Guardian of the planet, well, one of the Guardians, because there's 7 Guardians on our planet. We're probably the only planet in existence with 7 Guardians on it, and I'm sent here to kill a Guardian. Out of what 7 Guardians, I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to kill all 7 Guardians. I just know that that I was sent here to kill a Guardian. I never received the intel that there were 7 Guardians. I'm not sure my people knew, but I was asking Nerazim, like, like, how did you die? Because how I received Nerazim was when I was with the Gazers, and the Gazers are one of the races that are outside of the galactic community. When I went there, when they abducted me from my planet, basically, in return for me giving them some of my essence, which it can be found in blood and stuff, like, they told me that they would give me a gift. I can choose the essence of someone else. So I had chosen Nerazim, and when I absorbed her essence and I gave them some of mine, like, it would give me the ability to teleport. But then she came along, so we've been building a bond. And I told her, like, like, it wasn't a hostile thing. Like, to me, I'm letting her know, like, she was a gift to me, and I would treat her as such. Like, and after I accomplished my goals, like, my goal right after that is helping her find her body and getting her to where she want to be. Like I didn't want to treat her as a prisoner. So when you have, so I'm talking to Nerazim, and I'm building up this rapport and trust with Nerazim, and like, I actually started as Zagura. I started to kind of fall for Nerazim. She was kind of in a sense where I was starting to like her because she was really different than what I was. Like, like the killing and stuff it wasn't her speed. She wasn't that. She was more of a peaceful person. She used her abilities for peace and things of that nature. So with that, like, I was starting to look at her and understanding her ways. And I was telling her, like, I wanted to kind of be more, almost be more like how she is. Like, just to get a better understanding. I didn't have to be, like, violent and go around killing everything and everybody. I was starting to feel that. I don't know if I expressed that to her, but that's how I was starting to feel. And I asked her a question, like, well, do you remember how you died? Like, do you remember, like, what killed you? And she was explaining to me that, like, like, where she's from, like, she had a whole school of mystical arts kind of named after her, because she was that revered. She was that, like, capable. She even told me that she had the ability to teleport, like, multiple large numbers of people to, like, different planets and stuff like that. Like, that's how strong she was with her ability of manipulating space. So I had asked her, like I'm getting back to it. I asked her like, "Do you know how'd you die?" And she was like, "No, I don't remember anything. I don't remember how I died or nothing like that." So I took her for her word. Um, so fast forward, later on that day, the same day, we're out and we're out. I'm out. She's there because she's in my head, and we're getting confronted by the guardian. This is after like the whole like this is the time like where you need to do whatever you got to do to save your life if you care about stuff like that. Like and a part, well, I'll get to that. So so the guardian started asking me questions, and I guess he's speaking to me through telepathy because she's answering and talking to the guardian, and it was already turning me off from her because she was speaking in a sense where she was, I guess she understood what he could do and she was scared to die. See, the thing about Zagura is I'm not afraid to die. Like, I just don't fear death. I guess it's the way I am. Like, I'm all, like, death has been knocking on my door my whole 16 years of life. Like, from my sub race being extinct to shit, my actual race being extinct. Like, death isn't something that Zagara fears. So that allows me the ability to remain myself in hostile situations. But Nerazim, on the other hand, she started pleading for our lives, basically, because it's our body. If he kills me, I guess we both die. So she started pleading, and that was a turnoff to me. But then he asked, like how did you get here, like that, and I say a gazer ship. And the reason why I say gazer ship is because if I told him that I got here um, by means of the primals, because I assumed he didn't know I was a primal, because the guardians and primals are natural enemies. He told me like I was lying because gazers aren't nowhere near here and blah blah blah. She in return basically started and broke down and told him like told the guardian Iroku, yeah, told Iroku the guardian, he looks like a big turtle if you ever see him, like that she got here because she was killed by primals. She was murdered by primals, and then somehow her essence got to the hands of a gazer, and through that I acquired her essence and stuff like that, and that cut me pretty deep because it was one of those things where I just felt like I couldn't trust her at all. I can't trust anyone. Like it just put me in a bad place. And as a 16-year-old kid, it just broke my heart because it was like I never ever tried to do anything but help you. I showed you nothing but kindness. Like, you didn't have to lie to me. Like, you didn't have to lie. So like being betrayed by Nerazim really, it just reinforced my already primal or animalistic thought process of not trusting nobody and kill all who opposes, because you can't trust people out here in Unleashed. So that's basically how that's the reason and why the mind of Zagara is the way it is. I just wanted to give you guys a more detailed insight on why he's he seemed to be a savage or just a murderer. It's he hasn't experienced anything else but murder and betrayal. That's all he knows. So like but the good thing about Zagara to me is that even with that being said, I still think that he wants I still think that he still wants like love or that companionship or like a team or like to fit in somewhere or to be a part of a group because when he came to the primals he was like when he got to the primal ship like he was all for being a primal because naturally he's a soldier so he wants to fit in he wants to do his job but the Guardian said he killed all the primals all my team anyway so here I am once again alone on Elios chilling and that's pretty much it gentlemen that's the mind the inner and outer workings of Zagura